Working on I Am curriculum, Unit 2, Lesson number 23, Solving Problems with Inequalities in Two Variables. Our learning goal, let's practice writing, interpreting, and graphing solutions to inequalities in two variables. Okay, so for the warm-up, we are asked to use graphing technology to graph the solution region of several inequalities and sketch each graph. Adjust the graphing window as needed to show meaningful information. So I'm going to grab my calculator and have that on the screen. All right, let's begin with number one. It says y is greater than x. So to change the equation to an inequality, you're going to first press the y equals button right here. You'll see this screen pop up. We need to change this line to the greater than symbol. So we go over using the directional pad right here, and we press enter until we see the greater than. So greater than means to shade above. This is the one that we need. Okay, so now to the right of the equal sign, I can put what's here on the right hand side of the inequality, which is just x. So we go over to the right hand side and press the letter for x. It's right here. And then we can look at the graph, but the window right now is not really giving us numbers. So we need to get specific numbers that are on that boundary line, the line that's going across our calculators. To get these points, we press second graph, and then these are the points that we're going to plot on the graph. So I'll go back so I can get a few negative numbers. As you can see, y is always equal to x, so we're just going to plot these points. 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Then I'm going to go backwards. -1, -1, -2, -2, -3, -3. Okay, for your greater than and less than symbols, we're going to need a dashed line, because we're saying that the values along those lines, the values along that line are not included in the solution. So when we connect our dots, we're going to make it a dashed line. And now we're going to figure out whether we shade above or below. So you can pick any random point and decide whether or not it holds true for that inequality. So I'll choose the point -2, -2. -2, -2 is back here. Would it be true that -2 is greater than, +2? So, I'm choosing the test point. X is -2, y is +2. That's the point that I'm going to test. So is it true that this y, is it true that 2 is greater than -2? Absolutely. This y, 2, is greater than -2. So that value will be in the solution set, which means my shaded area is up here. Okay, let's look back at our calculator screen to see how this matches up. Okay, so to look at the picture of the graph, we just press graph, and there I can see that we shaded it correctly. All right, let's check out the next problem. This time it's the same inequality. The only thing that changed is the symbol. Instead of being greater than, we now have greater than or equal to, which means it's going to look very similar to that last one, but this time we need a solid line instead of a dashed line. Okay, so the points that are on my boundary are very much the same. 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, etc. And then we'll go in the negative direction. And this time we're going to connect them in a solid line. Okay, and we still need to shade above the line. Okay, in our calculator, just for confirmation, it's very much the same thing as we had before. It's just that we have to intuitively know that if we have the or equals to symbol, we have to make a solid line. All right, let's do another one together. Our next inequality says that y is less than -8. So I want you guys to pause the video and think about, is this next line going to be solid or a dash? Take 1 minute to pause the video, answer that question, and come right back. Okay, so I'm going to use my calculator, but I want to know, you guys type in the chat whether or not you said solid or dashed. Hopefully you said dashed. We need a dashed line because our inequality symbol is the less than without the or equals to symbol underneath. Okay, so where are all the values y is less than -8? Since we have to practice using our calculator, let's go ahead and bring that down. We're going to go to the y equals screen, and we're going to clear out what's there from before. Okay, so this symbol is less than. So we're going to change the cursor so that it's blinking below the line. Below the line. So on the right hand side of our inequality, we need the number -8. So let's take a look at the graph. Okay, so I can see that if we go down on the y-axis to -8, we have a line going straight across. So the table of values should include -8 as the y for all the coordinates, and the x's just are all the numbers. So let's go straight across at -8. Because our graph is kind of small here, let's count by 2. So we'll say 2, 4, 6, 8. That's not going to work. Let's do 5, 10. So I'm counting by -5, -10, which means -8 would fall just about right here, slightly above the -10. And then my solution region is below the line. All right, you guys, that should get you started for lesson number 23 in Unit 2. Thanks for joining.